right? And we don't usually take into account the fact that, like Abdul said, most of the industries are producing at 30 to 40% capacity. That means you have excess capacity of 60%, which is cost to the, 40% production.
Yeah.
So if we scale up to be able to utilize that excess capacity, you introduce more efficiency and reduce cost. So why don't we look at what is available?
The question is, how do you scale up?
Well, I'm coming. So you need to get involved with the industry. Since you say it's private sector led, engage the private sector. Let them tell you that these are the requirements we want to be able to move from here to there. And then give them the
implementation.
Okay, so now let me give you an example over here.
So you have about 30 seconds to just give the example. Because we have to be, we have just 4 minutes to wrap up, and I need to pick the thought of Mark and then.
So I asked one private sector person who is an industrialist. You know, you're having all these problems, right? But there are packs that you can get into and basically plug and play, because the packs solve your water problem, your power problem that you say having. Why are you not going there? The thing the person told me is that, look, to buy land in that park will cost me about $5 million. If I go and put $5 million in that land, which money am I going to use to develop, to build my factory and all of that? What do you need to? You need to start thinking about, okay, how do I ensure that this guy can get access to land without having to cough out $5 million? So he can use his $5 million to build up a factory. That's what the program is seeking to do. Do you understand? So we've spoken to people, we've understood the problems, and we've tried to design solutions that ensure that we take away the constraint. The problem is, yes, we are. Like I understand that the problems are complicated. They are not. If they were simple, we wouldn't be talking about them today. It would have been solved in 1960, right? They are not. But let's give it a chance. We don't want it to be ever said that we never tried. At least we will try. And if we fail, at least we try to make something work. But at least let's try. It is our country. If it does well, it is for all of us. It's not for a few people. And that's why we need to take out the cynicism.
You never want to possibly talk about one district. Maybe we try that one and possibly fail.
Of course, I will talk about the one district. We've analyzed the one district.
The simple one.
Mark, your final comment. I mean, are you convinced? Are you satisfied about the explanations given about the 24-hour economy?
I'm not satisfied. The reason being that, we are running our economy on the basis of manifestos. The one district, one factory, there are some of the factories that are doing well, as he said, that we can start from there. Now, within the 2-3 years of President Mahama, I don't think that interest rate will go below 12%. It will never happen.
So can we bet?
Let me.
Can we bet?
Yes, we can bet.
Okay, so let's bet on that. And what will you give me if it goes down? No, let's bet. Because we will do it.
Let me finish.
I know you are skeptic, but we will do it.
Let me finish. The idea is good. I would have said that now we should begin as a country to think about having a long-term development plan.
But that's good, and we will do that. You see,
land.
Let's not have the situation where
development plan. If we had done that, then the one district, one factory will be the basis for us to start.
Now let me tell him about this long-term development plan. We did the NDPC. No, relax.
Unfortunately, we have just about 2 minutes. I need to pick the
just the one second.
2 seconds. Yeah. Okay.
The NDPC did a development plan in 2016, long-term development plan. And the MPP jettisoned it. In the MPP's 8 years... let me finish.
It's the same way.
Oh, why don't you just listen? In the MPP...
They are going to throw this thing away, and we'll go back
to themselves, the same government, developed 3 different long-term development plans and threw it all away.
Now, and let me...
You see, it's not just
all the things we are talking about, the land use and all these things, they are all in the Ghana...
Are you convinced about the explanation? Do you see this to be a good plan for the private sector? Go ahead, please. 15 seconds, 15 seconds.
If you take 24 hours, you divide that into 3, you're getting 8 hours, which is 8 hours per shift, right? Now, again, I think that government needs to look at, to simplify it again, scaling up, focus on scale up. How do companies like private sector scale up? And that's where companies like my company comes in. And we also have the structure to...
Okay, so I think I get your point. Your focus is more on the shift system and how companies can scale up. Eric, your final comments on the issue.
Yeah, my final comment is that we need to face this program. I mean, I'll call it a policy now. I'll call it a program. We need to face a program. So we need to know what actions will be taken within the first year of this program, specifically. Because you see, industry would strategize based on the policy. Abdul has talked about land, etc. How long is it going to take government to acquire land and service the land? Are we focusing on new industries, or we are focusing on the existing? Because if it's a new industry, I have to now go acquire that land, assuming you give it to me for free.
Right.
I have to build structures.
To build an industrial zone.
No, but
It's a very extensive
you see, if we
conversation.
had
We have
time,
to
I would
go.
just copy.